You think it's a smart thing to make a bargain with God, try to make a deal with Him, saying, if you just do this for me, I'll do such and such? Let's take a look in the book, see how that turned out for a fellow named Jephthah. Good morning. Almost feels like spring is in the air. It's going to get up in 50s today and up close to 60 in the coming week. I don't know. Never know what March might bring. Might get some more snow in March. You never know. But it feels pretty good right now. This morning, had a little Bible story I was going to relate to you. I don't like it. It's one of my least favorite. Actually, there's 2 or 3 stories in the Bible that I completely hate. This is one of them. It's horrible. But I was kind of praying and asking God to show me a message that I was supposed to give you this morning. I don't know. I opened up the Bible and it comes right to this story. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. It ain't going to be fun. This story is in the book of Judges, Judges 11. And you can read it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's about a fellow named Jephthah. Was a leader in Israel at that time, and he was a valiant fighter, fought battles, and he did something very foolish. He had to fight the children of Ammon. They weren't children, but his descendants. They were disputing with the children of Israel, and Jephthah prayed to God and made a bargain with him, said, if you give me victory, when I get home, first thing that runs out the door of my house, I will consider it yours and offer it up to you as a burnt offering. I'm sure he had plenty of animals and different things, and it was a stupid vow. And I don't think God wants us to make vows or bargains with him. In verse 30 it says, and Jephthah vowed a vow unto the Lord, and said, if thou shalt without fail deliver the children of Ammon into mine hands, then it shall be that whatsoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be the Lord's, and I will offer it up for a burnt offering. In verse 34, after the Lord had given him a great victory over the children of Ammon, Jephthah came to Mizpah to his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and dances, and she was his only child. Beside her he had neither son nor daughter. And it came to pass when he saw her that he rent his clothes, and said, alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low, and thou art one of them that trouble me. For I have opened my mouth unto the Lord, and I cannot go back. And she said unto him, my father, if thou hast opened thy mouth unto the Lord, do to me according to that which hath proceeded out of thy mouth. For as much as the Lord hath taken vengeance for thee of thine enemies, even of the children of Ammon. And she said unto her father, let this thing be done for me. Let me alone 2 months, that I may go up and down upon the mountains, and bewail my virginity, I and my fellows. And he said, go, and sent her away for 2 months. And she went with her companions, and bewailed her virginity upon the mountains. And when 2 months was up, she returned to her father, who did with her according to his vow which he had vowed. And she knew no man. So he told his daughter about that. I think it's very interesting to note that daughter's attitude toward this was an immediate acceptance and willingness to allow her father to carry out his vow that he had made to the Lord. She said, let me go with my friends up in the mountains 2 months. Will never know having her own family, having a husband and children herself. Her life will be short. And she said, let me go up there with my friends and for 2 months and then come back. And then she did. When she came back, I guess she was offered up as a burnt offering. It's just horrible. It is the most sickening, horrible thing. It's in the top 3 of the worst things in the Bible. But God put it in there for a reason. I don't know. Is it to warn us not to bargain with him, not to make promises? If you do this for me, I'll do this for you. I don't know. I have always tried to make it my aim never to do that because of this. You never know what the consequences might be, what God is going to, when you make a promise to God, you never know what the final end of it's going to be. And it's an important thing. You have to do it. If you don't, God's going to not bless you. I'll just say that. So what's the takeaway lesson from this horrible story today is, to me, whatever it is to you, I don't know, but to me it is, don't bargain with God. Don't make him promises that you're going to do something if he does something for you. I don't think God wants that from us. I do not know why this is in the Bible, why it, we just don't know why with a lot of things, but anyhow, and I didn't like telling you about it either, but I just felt led to relate that story, and I'm sure there's somebody, maybe more than one out there, that needed to hear it for whatever reason. But God is faithful and just, and he will bless and he will work all things together for good for those that love him, even in a horrible, disastrous thing like this. I mean, we're not going to have something so horrible in our lives, but we can suffer some terrible things because we promised wrong and bargained with God, but he is faithful and can restore your happiness and fulfillment. So if you were in a similar situation, not that you had to sacrifice your only young daughter, but if you made promises to God and it came out bad, it could have been worse. And I mean, you might have done it and it came out great. But like I say, I don't know. Just felt led to relate this story. Make of it whatever you will. And hopefully we'll have something more uplifting next week. Hope you have a good day. And if you've never heard this story before, it's, I'm sure, kind of sobering. But it's in there for a reason. We're going to learn something from it. Just pray to God will help each of us to learn whatever lesson he wanted us to glean from this event, this tragedy. All right, we'll see you.